Sunday afternoon in the Little Havana neighborhood of Miami, Florida. We are at the home of the two-time World Series champion Miami Marlins, and the race is on for the automatic bid to Monster Jam World Finals. The pressure is mounting as 9 points separate our top three competitors. Will Monster Energy's Todd Leduc continue his domination and turn Miami into backflip city, or will it be a monster meltdown in the Everglades? All eyes are on Marlins Park. This is Stadium Championship Series 3, and this is Monster Jam. And Todd Leduc and Monster Energy clinging to a 5-point lead over Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger, John Zimmer, and Dragon Ice. 9 points off the pace. It's a little too early, Bryce, to call it a three-team race, but if somebody else is going to step up, they have to do it soon.
Well, and the good news is for all the drivers and these teams that you're about halfway through the season, and so you should have a lot of the kinks worked out at this point. And if you're a driver, you should have kind of all the butterflies out of your stomach, if you will, also in having that confidence in coming out here and performing. But Matt Pagliarulo is someone that I got to compete with last year and compete against, and he is one of the toughest competitors out here, and he's definitely not only just a fan favorite, but he knows how to get the fans excited.
Yeah, he knows all about the fans. He is a fan, started out as a super fan, and I believe there's that saying from super fan to superstar. Just hung around, went to the shows, built his own truck, and now look at him, a former Rising Star winner in Monster Jam.
Well, you saw the freestyle criteria as well, and what these fans are looking for and what they should be judging on are things like the variety of runs or the variety of hits, right? Are they getting the momentum? Are they keeping a lot of speed getting around the track? And are they doing something creative? Is there a technical aspect in there? Those are things that these fans should be watching for. And Matt loves to get really big air. He knows how to keep some decent speed. Right now, it looks a little conservative for him. And it also sounds to me like he might be a little bit late on the throttle when he's hitting these jumps. So I'm not sure if he's kind of nursing something on that Jester Monster Jam truck at this point, but he's off to a decent start.
Yeah, the owner of Tomfoolery Motorsports out of Deltona, Florida, now has Jester and his son's truck cracking, and Matt Pagliarulo's got to do something to wow the fans. You always talk about that, and he is going to the far side of the track, and he's going to try to line up for the Monster Energy backflip ramp. Matt Pagliarulo in Jester gets up and over. A successful attempt on the two wheels, and now back on four.
Well, that was a perfect backflip. It looked like the rear end might have come unlocked at that point, so we'll have to watch that. He might have damaged something on that rear end, and it's hard to get these Monster Jam trucks wheeled around this Monster Jam track without all four tires pulling.
I always feel like the most important moment in a freestyle run is what you do after the backflip, and he went ahead and hit that jump, and he's now up on a sky wheelie and gets over the freestyle pod, taking out the cars and back down to the other side, making the most of his time, and he is gliding around in another sky wheelie for Matt Pagliarulo and Jester, and he gets it over, trying to save it, and he is going to end up on the hood of Jester. But a nice start to Matt Pagliarulo's run, and a great score, 9.564.
That was a huge score for Matt, and that was a great attempt at the very end. If that front end wouldn't have come unlocked on him on that Jester truck, I think he might have saved it. Beating a 9.564 out of that Jester Monster Jam truck is no easy feat, so he's got to pull out all of the stops in this run if he's going to take that lead.
Todd Leduc is known for getting big air. He prides himself on it. And this year, of course, the high jump at World Finals 20 in Orlando is going to be a competition, and we will crown a world champion. He could be a favorite in that competition, but some nice air for Monster Energy. He does not look like he's had the issues that he's had thus far today.
Well, Todd is also really good whenever the truck is midair, and if you're wanting to study the drivers on how they're able to get the trucks to pitch a certain way, whether they're wanting the front of the truck to be lower or higher, I watch and study a guy like Todd Leduc in that Monster Energy machine, because I don't think there's anyone out there that gets more hits in a 120-second freestyle run than Todd Leduc, because he has great momentum, he has great energy, but watch his ability mid-air to then control that truck.
He's a 2014 World Finals Freestyle champion, and a bicycle for Todd Leduc on the nose, and saves it on one tire. He gets back all the way around.
You see a lot of these bicycles as well the drivers are putting into not only just two-wheel skill competitions, but obviously now freestyle, and the best part about that is it's pretty forgiving, because if you over-rotate that in that bicycle, you've got a decent chance at a sidewall save, and that's exactly what just happened for Todd.
Sky wheelie for Todd Leduc, a two-time World Finals champion, lining up for the Monster Energy backflip ramp. and he gets around on the side of Monster Energy and lands it, and he is moving back out. The fans want more.
Well, all the drivers, as soon as you land that backflip, you just got to hit the first jump that's in front of you and air it out. The body's shredding itself, it's shedding itself, and it's ready to be on that Monster Jam dirt at this point, and Todd doesn't want to leave anything left on that machine.
Now he's leaving the entire truck on the track. More of that body continues to peel away with every powerful jump from Todd Leduc and Monster Energy, and another huge jump and a slap wheelie at the end from Monster Energy.
Well, he dug that front left tire into that dirt on that landing. He probably felt that one a little bit as well, but he looks pumped, and he's happy. He should be as well. He's getting the fans out of their seats, engaged. They're loving it, and they should have. That was a wonderful run.
So, Todd, Daniel said that he told you to just go out there, relax, and have fun tonight, and I think that's what we saw from you.
I told you Todd Leduc was going to come out later tonight, man, in freestyle, but his kids are here. It was for him. You know, we made a small mistake in racing. We learned from it. Now the chase is on, baby. Let's see if we can win this thing.
Some strong words for the fans. We've seen them boo themselves a lot when it comes to the judging, but there's a look at the BKT Freestyle Top 5. Monster Energy 9.800. That's going to be a tough one to break. It's time for the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge recap. And Brianna Mahan in Whiplash, a nice sky wheelie, lands it back down the pad, and she's going to come off for a bicycle and gets that one too, but an 8.113, not good enough for first.
Well, I love this move right here that John Zimmer does. He perfects it, and I'm someone that's trying to pull that move off where you're walking it all the way across that pad, but an 8.812, that's a pretty decent score. An excellent slap wheelie as well. I'm surprised actually that score is not a little bit higher.
Lindsey Wink, Lucas Oil Crusader trying for the sky wheelie, gets a slap wheelie instead on the back two tires. He is moving a long way across that second half of the track. So a nice first hit, and he's gonna attempt the bicycle, gets it on the two, tries to turn it, and doesn't quite get the extension. Here's Todd Leduc, now Monster Energy. He is great at this competition, Bryce.
But he wasn't able to quite get the back of the truck up on that first one. The second one is perfect, and at this point, he's driving that Monster Energy truck off of the brake. He's keeping the RPMs high and shifting from reverse and back down to second, depending on which way he wants to go and balance that thing.
A lot of great balance for him, only good enough for second, because here is Becky McDonough in El Toro Loco. The last time she won the 2-Wheel Skills Challenge was in St. Louis in 2017. A reverse popper and gets it on the nose and saves it, and that is what won Becky McDonough the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge.
Well, I've seen her do this a couple times, and thankfully it's a little bit of a lucky save as well, and over-rotates it, was able to grab first gear, brought it back on all fours, and the fans went crazy.
So, Becky, we saw you go out there. Your first attempt wasn't really what you were looking for, and then you did that sweet move. What were you thinking as you were trying to save it there?
Where's first gear? Where's first gear? You know, that popper, it'll go or it won't go. It is either or. There's never really a happy medium on that one. Unfortunately, it went all the way over, but I was able to grab first gear fast enough and bring it back up. So the crowd loves it. I mean, that's always a fan favorite if you can make a save out of something like that.
Yeah, and 2 wins for you in 2 days here. Lots of momentum going into freestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to taking home the third. You know, I mean, 3 is the lucky number, right? So I'd be so grateful to be able to walk away with another freestyle win. I'm happy that we made it to semifinals tonight, but freestyle is left, so I'm ready to stay cool, calm, and collected and do it.
So that run concludes freestyle, and it is Todd Leduc in Monster Energy. A great comeback for him tonight. 14 points because of that 9.800. John Zimmer down in third, so going to lose a couple points in the race. Matt Pagliarulo and Jester will finish second. We are going to hear from a very excited and emotional Todd Leduc in Monster Energy. Let's go down to our freestyle winner.
Even though racing didn't end up the way that you wanted it to out here, a lot of redemption tonight. Second in 2-wheel, and then the freestyle victory was what you were really looking for tonight.
Yeah, like I told you earlier, man, that Leduc Angry Todd came out at me, you know, and the points are crucial right now, and we got to keep pushing forward. And Daniel gave me a competitor truck again, you know, and here in racing, we were on. We made a couple of changes from last week, and the truck was killer fast. So Monster Energy, we're still up at the top. I don't know where we are in the points, but I want that points lead back for sure.
Todd Leduc in Monster Energy battles back from the mechanical issues that plagued him in racing, but missing that competition cost him crucial points. And John Zimmer in Dragon Ice, the ultimate opportunist, 37 points, gets him the overall event championship.
Well, that's an awesome night for John Zimmer in making that move. Todd's funny, though, too, because he's the type of person that doesn't wait till the end of the night to see where the points fall. He's keeping track every event.
All right, we heard from our freestyle winner. Now let's take you to our overall event champion, John Zimmer in Dragon Ice.
Even though I I know you were not happy with your score during freestyle. You know, you stayed very consistent, which is something that we talked about earlier, in order to get the overall championship here and get a lot of points tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt. In reality, what it's about is the points. It's very hard as a racer to say take a third or a fourth in a competition because the only thing on your mind is first place, right? We did get the first place with racing. That's awesome for us. That really kind of propelled me in my head to just use my head. Freestyle, I thought I threw down a really good run, and I drove the truck off the track. After a backflip, sky wheelies, and a save, that's pretty good.
You came into the weekend down a spot after, you know, day one here, and now we don't know where you're going to be with these points. You know, how critical is it for you to have such a good night like this tonight, though?
Oh, it's very critical. Getting it closer to the end of the season before the World Finals, it literally, the top 3 or 4 or even 5 are going to literally move back and forth if one of us has one mistake.
So John Zimmer, Dragon Ice, able to gain some ground in the standings, now trailing Todd Leduc and Monster Energy by 1 point. Still a lot of season left and a lot of events to go.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.